You are pure divinity. You are not incarnated, even now. You are also not simply that impersonal beingness. You are also that. It's an aspect. That all oneness, that impersonal beingness, that are myriads of centers, myriads of centers of perception. None is separate. All is connected, all is one, and yet each center has its own unique beauty. It's a divine being, not separate from all the others, and yet unique and beautiful. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. We don't have to try to wipe this out. Now this divine being is projecting some aspects into a world like this, and there forms a personality. The I feeling in this personality is just a reflection of your real I, of your pure divine beingness. You, in your true essence, are even not now incarnated, but projected into this world. And then once this story starts, there starts the identification with that projection, and we are creating that me separate from everybody else. Now Dan has asked, what is the meaning of that incarnated I that lives in multiplicity? And what is the meaning of the relationships? Family, partnership, what does it all mean? Well, we can as well ask, what does this whole incarnation business mean? Is there any meaning in it? Now many teachers, they completely forget that there is a being. They tell there is just that personality, that ego, which is false, and there is impersonal beingness. And there is nobody there. Yes, there is nobody there, but there is nothing there. You are there. And they say, and this whole story doesn't make any sense. There is no purpose in it. And of course, if you believe there is only that illusory ego, then this whole is just accidentally happening, and once it's over, the attention, the consciousness withdraws again into that impersonalness. And the whole thing doesn't mean anything. But it is not so. You are a being. But sometimes somebody tells to me, but I had that experience. There was absolutely nobody, nothing. It was just consciousness. And that is the real truth. But they forget. They tell me, I had that experience. Okay, that experience was of impersonal consciousness. And it's not the ultimate truth, it's an aspect. The very fact that they can say now, I had that experience, means they were there. Simply they experienced the absence of the identification with the person. If they were not there, they couldn't tell now, I had that experience, for they were there and now they remember. Something is there. It's simply not somebody as we know it in the day-to-day life. The me, Mr. So-and-so, Mrs. So-and-so. That sense of presence that is so totally unique and yet connected with everything is never absent. That is the first expression of what you are. And then what's the point in incarnating, in appearing in a world like this? If you are already that one divinity connected with all, why? What is all this about? There's never anyone who can completely put in words a total answer to that question. For me, it was at a certain point made clear. Yes, there is a point in this whole thing. Essentially, you are unchangeable. You are that divinity. Yet, there is that being there. And the experience of that one divinity is expanding, getting richer, is getting more intense, more powerful, and along with it, the joyousness of existence keeps on continuously increasing. And to project in a world like this, being then confronted with all the challenges that come along from moment to moment, is accumulating something very precious that makes that experience of the essence unfold, expand, intensify. This in itself was for me suddenly clear. Yes, the whole story makes sense. I'm sure there's way more than that. Unexplainable, incomprehensible with the intellect. But we are not going through this in vain. We are not going through this struggling, suffering, experiencing a lot of little joys, little pains, often big pains, for nothing. Everything is accumulating something very precious, and that being that goes through that will, at a certain point, consciously start to reap the fruit of it. Be aware that this helped to unfold, to intensify the experience of joyous existence. And there's no end to that. Now, how to deal then with the world? How to deal, like Dan asked, what is then the meaning of the structure of the family or relationships? It's just that the story has evolved in such a way, and within that structures we find continuously the challenges that we need. Some find themselves in more harmonious circumstances, some find themselves in very tense and disharmonious circumstances. It is difficult, it is painful as long as we are resisting the facts of what we are experiencing. As long as we are thinking it should not be like this. We have our ideas how things should be, and then often they are just not like that. But then there is always that nagging sensation. It shouldn't be like this. It shouldn't be like this, creating a lot of tension. And the stronger we get into it, the bigger it becomes, and it turns into real suffering. So the meaning of those structures that have been built on, into which we are projecting, is to give us continuously chances to face those challenges in such a way that we can turn them positive, turn them creative. And how are we doing that? By learning to not resist. By learning to accept what comes, not in a weak way and think, oh, that's how it is, I cannot do anything. We can pick up a situation and be very clear. Okay, I give my creative energy into it, playfully, joyously. If possible, I change the situation into a more beautiful, harmonious, expansive one. If it works, wonderful. If it doesn't work, never mind. I still have the peace in myself that I put a good influence into the situation that helps me, makes me grow, makes my experience unfold, and it's certainly the best that we can do for everybody else who is involved. We don't have to take all the structures we are born into too serious. I think it's now our damn duty, that our whole lifelong to, after the tradition, to follow exactly what we are told to do, what we are supposed to do according to the rules that have been set. Learn to feel for yourself. Sometimes it makes sense to break out of a structure because it's just keeping the attention too much locked into the same circle that goes round and round and round. The important thing is that we don't resist all the time and think it should be different. Why is it like this? Why are they like this? Why is this happening? Okay, it's happening. And if we can come to the point in that acceptance that we then connect with ourselves, with that source of beauty and creativity, and bring that beauty and creativity into the current, then that one who is doing so is the first to benefit from it. And those who are closely connected, they are the second who are benefiting from it, whether they know it or not, whether they like it or not. And ultimately we are connected with the whole of existence, so everything benefits from it. The more we can live like this, the more the story, in spite of the limitations, in spite of the unpleasant things that are happening, becomes a joyous one, a playful one. And the intensity of our experience keeps on unfolding tremendously. That is the challenge, whether it's in a partnership, whether it's in a family, whether it's in a society, a nation, or in whole humanity. We play our role in this theater, And the more we can play it consciously. Okay, I'm playing a role, but I'm playing that role in a playful way, in a joyous way, and bring my inner beauty into it. The more we are capable of living like this, the more, even in this world, the journey becomes joyous and playful. We are not always creating tension and suffering, in spite of whatever is happening. And the more the life makes sense, because that much more intensity we are experiencing and taking along with us when we go again out of this world. When that aspect that is projected into it is withdrawn again. The whole thing does make sense. It's not somehow a cosmic mistake that has happened. The difference is just whether we go through life half asleep and then bang our head left and right all the time on the walls, continuously getting frustrated because things are not exactly the way we would like them to be, or if we are capable of making our life into a joyous dance. Being aware there is a profound peace all the time that is not affected by what is happening. At the same time, the game goes on, the play goes on, and it becomes more and more an expression of your own inner divinity. And an aspect of that divinity is simply pure joyousness.